Good morning. Thanking you for this opportunity to talk about myself. My name is Mohammad Zishan Khan. Since 5 years, I have been teaching in science school so that I could bring a good overall result in that sector. I am currently teaching in Satyas the Aryan School as a science teacher, and I have been dealing with especially chemistry subject. Today's my topic is about atomic structure. Today my topic is about atomic structure. So atomic structure, basically atomic structure depends upon the three concepts. First concept is that what are they made up of? Actually, actually, if we see from the previous concepts, then we will talk about matter. Matter is anything that occupies space and has mass. Then matter is made up of atoms and molecules, and atoms are the smallest indivisible particle that are considered before, but now they are considered not indivisible, but they are divided into subatomic particles that are electrons, protons, and neutrons. Electrons electrons were discovered by Electrons were discovered by J.J. Thomson when he was conducting a cathode ray experiment. Then protons were discovered by E. Goldstein when he was doing a anode ray experiment. Then comes to the neutron, and neutrons were discovered by James Chadwick. Okay. So there are different models given by different scientists related to atomic structure. There are J.J. Thomson given the atomic structure model. Then it was given by Rutherford model of experiment. Finally Niels Bohr's given the atomic structure and told about atomic structure. Then Niels Bohr's is considered to be the modern concept for defining the atomic structure of any atom. Now I can go through the board and explain you that how you can draw a structure about any element. Just like before knowing or drawing a structure of any element, we must know what are the number of electrons, and what are the number of protons in it, and what are the number of neutrons in it, so that you can well define the atomic structure of an atom, of an element. Just you can see through the board. If I consider, if I take an element like sodium, if I take an element that is your sodium, so for drawing the structure of this element that is your sodium, we must know the electronic configuration. So how we will determine the electronic configuration of this element? So we should know about the atomic number and the mass number, and the number of electrons we can determine through the atomic number. That's it. And there are some simple things we should notice. First is that to draw the structure of sodium, we know that sodium atomic number is 11 and its mass number is 23. So from this representation we can determine atomic number that is represented by capital A. The atomic mass number that is represented by capital A. It is 23, and atomic number that is represented by capital Z, that is 11. So to determine the number of neutrons, we just subtract A minus Z, then we will get 12. So the number of neutrons are 12 here. The number of protons, that is your Z, is your atomic number, is also equal to the number of electrons in an isolated gaseous atom. So Z will be 11, and number of electrons will also be 11. Now the third thing is that we must know about the filling of electrons in various shells. So basically the electrons are filled accordingly in the first orbit, then second orbit, then third orbit, and they are represented by K, L, M, N, or you can also describe it through 1, 2, 3. So for drawing the element sodium, we must know that what is its electronic configuration. And electronic configuration depends upon the number of electrons present in it, just like sodium. In the center there is nucleus. In the first shell there will be 2 electrons. The maximum number of electrons that can be filled in the first shell is, that is your 2 electrons. The maximum number of electrons that can be filled in your second shell, that is your L shell, will be 8 electrons. And first shell 2 electrons, second shell 8 electrons, 2 8 is 10, and number of electrons left in sodium is 1. So in the last orbit, that is your M shell, will be 1 electrons. So to become this atom stable, 1 electrons is transferred, so it becomes Na plus, that is your sodium plus or sodium cation. Cations are positively charged ions. So this is just a simple diagram to explain about atomic structure of an element. Through this representation we can explain other elements. So knowing the structure, we must know their atomic number, their mass number, and their electronic configuration, and how we will fill according to the maximum number of electrons. So these are the things I have to explain in atomic structure. Thanking you once again for giving this platform. Thank you.